Good morning, everybody. So it's technically day 3 of Slimming World, but last night I went out for a tie and it was not on plan at all. So I'm treating this as day 1. And I'm going out early for a boxercise class, which is something I would never ever normally do because I hate punching and kicking and boxing and everything like that. But my best friend has been going for about a year, I'd say now, maybe longer. And she keeps asking me to go and I keep saying no, and I decided that in 2019 I'm going to try it. So I'm giving it a go. Probably going to hate it, but at least I would have tried. So for breakfast today, we're having Weetabix. These are banana flavour, which I didn't even know existed, but they do. And you can have 2 of these for a healthy extra fee. Cool. So without me pouring it all over the counter. There's 1. Now, I used to do Slimming World when you only had one A choice, and I would have to sacrifice. I'd have to think, oh, do I have my milk with my cereal or do I have cheese with dinner? Now, luckily, we get 2 A choices. So I'm going to have milk with my this morning, and I have semi-skimmed milk. Where is it? There you go, semi-skimmed milk, which you can have 250 millilitres of. I don't need that much, so I'm going to have half of that. I'm just another 125 milk, and also it means that I've still got 1.5 A choices left. So I'm just going to pour that on top. I do have a smaller jug, but it's in the dishwasher in a minute, so I have to use this massive one. Okay, then to bulk it out a bit, I'm going to add a chopped banana. Okay. And then to add a little bit of speed, I'm going to add some blueberries on top. These are frozen blueberries. I went shopping late at night and all the fresh blueberries had gone. The only ones I had left were a little bit manky, so I wasn't going to buy them. So there we have breakfast before I go to boxercise. So 2 Weetabix, 2 banana Weetabix is my healthy extra B. I've got 125 millilitres of semi-skimmed milk, which is half of one of my A choices. I've got 1 chopped banana and a handful of blueberries.
I can feel my body cold against the concrete, but I can't seem to get enough. My mind is fixed on what it wants. I just let you beat me. Looks can be deceiving. Let you get the best of me. In bed with my worst enemy. This is a no-go. I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone.
Hi everyone, so I'm back from my boxercise class. It was really good. I sweated loads, so that's always a good sign. It was called Fight Club, club with a K. So if anybody wants to try it, then I would recommend having a look to see if there's one near you, because it was really good. Anyway, I'm home now and I'm absolutely starving, but before I can have my lunch, I need to prep my dinner because today's dinner is a slow cooker recipe. So we're going to be having, it's called sin-free beef ragu fettuccine, and I've got this recipe off of the Pinch of Nom website, but I've tweaked it a little bit because some of the vegetables I don't have, and I don't have fettuccine, so I'm doing it with spaghetti, but it's really good. It's one of my absolute favourites, so I'm going to make it today. So to start with, what I want to do is prep all my vegetables. Now, I didn't film it, but I've already cut up 1 onion in here, as you can see. And the other vegetables I'm going to cut up is 150 grams of mushrooms. I hate mushrooms and I haven't eaten them in 25 years, but I'm going to start putting them in my food because they're good for you and they're speed food. You also need, it says 1 large carrot, but speed food is speed food, so I always try and bulk it out, so I'll put 2 in. And it also asks for a courgette. This clearly isn't a courgette, but I couldn't get any courgettes, so I'm going to use pepper instead because it's just as nice. So I'm just going to chop all of those up and then I'll show you what to do next.
This is a no-go. I just can't take hold. This is a danger zone. Back up and get me. So put your hand in mine. Follow me. Let me waste your time. C'est la vie. Do some stupid shit. Take a seat. Let me waste your time. C'est la vie.
Okay, so once you've chopped all your vegetables, you want to start browning your meat and your vegetables before you put them in your slow cooker. Now the recipe says to use fry light. A lot of Slim and Wild recipes say to use fry light. Personally, I hate the stuff because it wrecks your pans. So I just use olive oil. And if you get spray one like this, it's literally 10 sprays is 1 sin. And all I need is 10 sprays just to brown my meat, and that's going to go in a whole slow cooker meal, which is going to do me at least 4 portions. So all you need to do is add on 0.25 of a sin, and that's if you split it between 4. If you split it between more, then you're fine. So I just use 10 sprays, saves your pans. I also think it's a bit nicer. Okay, then you want to add in, this is 700 grams of just diced beef. Now, what's really great about cooking in a slow cooker beef is that it doesn't go tough. So money saving tip is that you don't have to buy an expensive cut of meat because it's not going to go tough, it will go soft in the slow cooker. Browning all over. So you want to add your vegetables. So you're going to add your onion, which is 1 whole chopped onion, pepper, mushrooms. See, that's how fruit coming out of them. And your chopped carrots and pepper, or courgette, or whatever vegetables you like, really. Once all of that has browned, we're going to put it in the slow cooker. And to that, we're going to add 500 grams of passata. ,300 millilitres of beef stock. It says 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, but I never measure these, I just put in a bit. It's free. There's dried parsley, oregano and basil. I haven't got any dried basil, so I'm just using oregano and parsley. And again, I don't really bother measuring these. I just free pour to taste. Splash of Worcestershire sauce. 500 grams of pearl barley. This stuff is amazing. It makes it go so, it almost makes it go like sticky, and oh, it's just, I can't even explain it, it's so good. So you want to stir all of that around. Cool, and there we have it. And then we're just going to put it on low for about 5 to 6 hours. So the time now, it's 11:35 here, so it will be ready at between 4:30 and 5:30. So when it's nearly ready, I'll then cook my spaghetti. Well, it's supposed to, I'll then cook my spaghetti and I'll serve it up, probably with some cheese on top if I've got any of my A-choice left. But so far, this is completely free. The only sins is 1/4 of a sin if you use oil instead of fry light. So we're going to leave that and we'll come back to it later. Okay, so lunch is going to be really simple because I've just spent ages cooking food for tonight, which is in the slow cooker. So I can't be bothered to cook anymore. So I've just made a jacket potato. There's 2 there because they're only little. I'm going to put some beans in it and I'm going to put some cheese in it. Now this is red Leicester. Do you remember this morning I only used half of my milk allowance for one of my A-choices? Well, 30 grams of red Leicester is an A-choice. So I've got 30 grams from one A-choice and I've got 15 grams from my other A-choice because I only used half my milk. So altogether that's 45 grams. So I'm going to grate all of this and I'm going to use some of it in my lunch and I'm going to put the other half of it on my dinner tonight on top of my beef ragu. Now, another tip, if you've got a grater that's got a small, like a fine grate like this, use that rather than the normal one, because you get so much more. You get the same amount of cheese, but it feels like you've got so much more cheese because it's so thinly grated, so finely grated, that you get loads of cheese. And because there's not really much speed in my lunch, I'm going to have 2 satsumas afterwards just to get a bit of speed in. This has been in the slow cooker for 4.5 hours now, and this is what it looks like. So good. The pearl barley makes it go a little bit like stodgy and sticky, so it's not really watery and thin. So now we're going to cook our spaghetti. You're just going to cook normally in a pan of salted water, and then when that's cooked, I'm going to mix it in and add it in with the ragu.
Nothing else matters, it all goes down to me and you.
Now my spaghetti's finished boiling, I'm going to add it to the ragu.
Let it go and do what's right for us. Started out here, way beyond the tracks. The story of us and how we never look back. 'Cause this is our time, this is our life. And sometimes all you need is a smile to get by. We're one step closer to find ourselves a perfect place, a feeling you just can't deny.
And I'm going to top it with my leftover red Nesta, which is the rest of my allowance.
Everywhere we go, nobody knows. We're waiting for the time to let go and do what's right for us. Started out here, way beyond the tracks. The story of us and how we never look back. 'Cause this is our time, this is our life.
So this is what dinner looks like, and it's completely free except for 1/4 of a sin for oil. So today I've had my A choice, both my A choices, my B choice, and the only sins I've had is 1/4 of sins in the oil. And I had a coffee this afternoon, which was from my Dolce Gusto coffee machine. Because I had no A allowance left over, I couldn't make one with milk. So I have these, and these are just 2 sins each, and it makes a really nice cup of coffee when you haven't got any A choice left, and just 2 sins is absolutely fine. So I've only had 2 sins and 1/4 today, which means technically I could have another 13.
It's a smile. Oh yeah. 'Cause this is our time, this is our life. Sometimes all you need is a smile to get back.